Okay, it's the next morning and we're doing a couple of trails today. Whatever little trails we can work in. What do you think about this morning there, Kat? Any thoughts?
Well, it's a cloudy morning, but I think the smoke has gotten a little better.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going on the Trail of the Cedars.
Yeah. And that's a
We're
little...
just taking it day to day with the smoke. Seems like the whole Northwest is full smoke.
Yep.
Right now.
Except the coast.
Yeah.
There it is, Trail of the Cedars. We go across the suspension bridge. Nice beginning.
Whoa, look at this.
Of course, we're crossing the Skagit River again.
Yeah, this is
And
interesting. Turquoise water there.
yeah.
The river. Skagit River. Here we go.
Yeah, what does it say?
Free flowing from here to Puget Sound.
Oh, okay. So this flows all the way over there by Seattle. Somewhere. It is pretty water.
This looks like great for canoeing or kayaking.
Yep.
Doesn't look like there's much rocks. Doesn't look too dangerous.
Hmm.
Are you still swimming?
Yeah. All right, a nice little start to this little trail. I think it goes to a rock garden or something. So nothing severe. These are all the small little trails in the area. We're doing what we can. Whoops, we lost Kathy. All right, so we'll be heading forward in a moment. Okay, this is reminding me of the To Name a Tree trail over in the campground. Right now we're at Newhalem in this tiny little historic town.
Once again, lots of ferns.
Yep. And it gives us a little information about the different trees and forest dynamics. And here we have evidence of this Douglas fir that was burned in the 1922 fire. 1922, over 100 years ago, and it's still standing here. So this is a nice little trail, accessible. Most of the North Cascades National Park to me seems to be really for deep backpacking. There are many of these short little nature trails that are pretty good for anybody. And this is the Trail of the Cedars, so looks like we got us a couple of cedars here. Wow, more blackened trees. Yeah, I think Kathy said, you know, there is so much smoke in Washington State right now and really throughout the West. Forest fires are just, it seems to me, being somebody from New York, fires out here just seem to be an everyday thing. Here we see the Newhalem powerhouse. There are 3 dams on the river here, and they generate hydroelectric electricity for the Seattle area still today. Okay, and just like that, we are through the Trail of the Cedars, and we're going to conclude this little stroll, and we're going to go head over to the Ladder Trail. Check that one out. And before we leave, let's get a little view of the river here and the suspension bridge. Okay, so a little relaxing walk, nothing severe. 0.3 miles loop, comes right out of the town of Newhalem. And look at that, there's Kathy up on the bridge. All right, so we're going to head off to the Ladder Trail, or Ladder Creek Trail. Let's check it out. And there's the entrance to the Trail of the Cedars. And we're going to head right down this road here in town. That'll take us over to the Ladder Creek Trail. And this here is a little bit of the town. That's the general store. And there's an information center across the street. So we'll be on our way. We have this nice piece of history here in town, engine number 6, which was used when they were building the dams here to bring the supplies and the workers. And I think it retired in the 1950s. We'll look at the plaque here, I think 1954. All right, so lots of history here in Newhalem. We're very proud of the history of building the infrastructure to help Seattle have its electricity. And as we pass through town, we find this crypt here to an engineer. Franklin Roosevelt called him one of the greatest Americans of our generation. He's buried here. James Ross and his wife Alice. And the dam up the road and the lake are named after him. And he wanted to be buried right here. So the crypt of James and Alice Ross. More history in Newhalem. And here is the Gorge Powerhouse, which has been producing power since 1924. The dam is upstream 2.7 miles. Now going to cross another suspension bridge and get on the Ladder Creek Falls and Gardens Trail. And we have our second suspension bridge of the day. Makes it a bit of an adventure. Yeah, the water. So we'll spin around a little bit. There's the river. Yep, a little bit more rapids over here. The sun is making an attempt at popping out. And here's a good view of the powerhouse here. Here is the inside of a functioning hydroelectric power plant here in Newhalem. Well, this Ladder Creek Trail seems a little bit neglected. But it is adventurous with a lot of twists and turns. So we're going to continue on our way. Many of these little bridges, I don't know if you can see, but the trail goes up the ridge there, I think, to an overlook. And yet it's winding down here, down the hill. So it's fairly adventurous, just a little neglected. Oh, old wagon wheel. Water wheel, rather. Look at that. A lot of history here. We're just seeing some of the remnants. We found out that James Ross was the one who had these gardens built here around the powerhouse. And we've come to the first fall here, Ladder Creek Falls. It's a really rugged landscape. And James Ross also loved lighting, different colored lighting, so he put lights in here. I guess at night they light them up. So we're heading up that way, continuing on this journey. Give you a little view back. I said it's pretty rugged. Heading up to the viewpoint. Oh, looks like the upper falls is coming through a little hole in the rock there.
Look at that. It's like,
wow, really
like a water
cuts
maze
through with beautiful little pools that drop to the next fall. Pretty awesome. And one last look at the falls. What do you think about this whole hike we did here today at the Ladder Creek?
yeah, it's different. Beautiful gardens that are not really maintained too well, but a lot of foliage and flowers. And a really unique waterfall here.
Yeah, that water is so clear. And look at the
Aqua.
work of the water on the rocks there, how it carves it away. Yeah, unique spot. So we're going to stop here at the bridge overlook, take a peek. I would say this trail is unique in the ruggedness. It's carved right into the mountainside, really. Just too bad it's neglected. Doesn't look like there's any more colored lights. The gardens look a little tired, but very scenic spot nevertheless. This is the bridge overlook. We'll take a look on the other side, and we'll call it our two little meandering walks that we did here today. Hope you enjoyed them. There's Kathy relaxing a bit. And our final shot here at the Ladder Creek Falls Trail here in Newhalem, Washington, in North Cascades National Park. And as we continue our journey east on Route 20 here in Washington State in North Cascades National Park, this here is a view of the Gorge Dam. You get a little piece of it there in the right hand corner, and the Gorge Lake, and we are standing above the gorge itself, Gorge Creek. So we'll walk over to the other side of the road here, try to get a view from that side. This is the first of 3 dams that dam up the Skagit River. Creating the hydroelectric power that they need. And I'm now standing on the opposite side of the bridge, looking at the Gorge River Falls. Beautiful ribbon of water cascading down here. So I'm walking up a short little paved path up here to a viewpoint. Maybe we'll get a view of the lake. There it is. Gorge Lake. Well, things have really slowed down here at Colonial Creek Campground. We're looking at an arm of Diablo Lake here, Thunder Arm. Cloudy and cool. Just here for the one night. See what we can discover. Well, at least we got down here to the famous Diablo Lake. The dam is way up the lake that way in front of us. Tomorrow we may stop and see an overlook, a look down on it. It is a beautiful lake on a gray day. It's a huge lake. This is just a little arm. Yeah, we're walking along here on the north loop of the campground. It's really scenic. These walk-in tent sites open up into views like this. Wow. Colonial Campground.